Justine was in these meetings, but she
But
ain't really in these meetings
I
because
don't think Justine is. I don't think Justine is
she's not
going
playing the game
along.
that they. Yeah, she's just gonna go like because if Johnny, she's not on it. She's not on what
You're
they
not
are.
gonna. Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new video. This is the Challenge World Championship episode 4. I do believe episode 4. This episode I think was pretty straightforward. I actually enjoyed this episode. It wasn't too much to it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I kind of figured out what was going to happen once I saw that we got to elimination like 15 minutes at the end of the episode. I was like, either they're going to do another part or this elimination is about to be a blowout. And I was like,
yeah, I mean, it was just nothing that happened was really a surprise or anything, but they were acting surprised by some stuff, and I was like, how are you?
Why are we? Yeah, I don't know
We'll
why they
talk
were
about it.
surprised by a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, some stuff that happened, I was like, obviously. So we'll get into it. But when we get into this episode, we are dealing with the blowout, I guess, of sending Kellyanne in. You know, John A mentions about how Kellyanne, she says Kellyanne raised her voice to her. She said she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And I was like, she was not.
That was definitely the white in John A coming out a little bit.
Why would you say she was screaming at the top of her lungs? She was not screaming at the top of her lungs.
She might have raised her voice a few decibels, but
it was not a scream.
Screaming.
I just feel like I just don't understand why Johnny keep having these conversations in like this open space, and every time she's having this conversation,
it's because she don't care about Kellyanne feelings.
But then you can't be quiet when Kellyanne come in the room.
that was lame.
As Kellyanne came down the stairs, she looked at Ben and was like, "Yeah, so I'm done with this conversation. Like, just stand in it. Like,
stand by it, man. If you're gonna talk your shit, man. Just stand by it. That's all.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid.
You
already done burnt the bridge, so what's the point of trying to walk on eggshells now?
Yeah, exactly. Danny and some of the other MVPs, Sarah, they have some type of plan that they want to get the legends out, which, as we have discussed before, I don't really understand this plan because they are all partnered with legends. Yeah. So it's never going to work out.
You see that Tristan and Zara have a conversation where Tristan is basically telling Zara that Kellyanne is a little too emotionally sensitive, and that if she don't chill out, it's going to ruin their game. And Zara basically just emphasized that she is, all for the UK alliance, but they need to get Kellyanne under control, or it's going to blow up their whole game.
These fuckers have never seen the show.
Yeah, then after that, we do see Wes having a conversation with Troy and Grant about how his business was just like...
Bruh, they gave us a whole montage of Wes and his great business ventures, how he lived his life.
But I love Wes because he is consistent. Okay, he is always saying he is the best.
He ain't changed since he got on this show almost 20-something years ago. He ain't changed. I respect it.
And that's the same thing Johnny was saying, that Wes is playing the same game that he always played. He's like, you're a musician, learn a new trick, learn how to saw a girl in half or something. Like, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, nah. Johnny and Casey are completely 100% right to laugh at Wes because he do the same shit every season. And it's just go after the new people, butter them up, tell them how great you are, and then, oh, hey, let me just throw this out there. You might want to work with me because I don't want you to have to work with other people. How about we band together and we take those motherfuckers out? But you do all the work. You do all the work.
First, we get a moment with Naya and Jordan where Naya basically is like, I always wanted this, I finally was able to mentally get right, physically get right. I learned how to stop procrastinating and really get in the mindset of the challenge. And we also learned that she had a vaping addiction, which put her in the hospital. And we see a moment with her and Jody also talk about being the last two of the Argentinians, or at least in the team Argentina, and they want to make sure that they win so they don't pick them off one by one because everybody playing the same game.
Yeah, I do want to say, Jody don't care about none of these people. First of all,
No,
she was like, the
no.
whole episode, I was cracking up because they like, where your partner? He's like, I don't know where he is. And then later on, when Benha and Jody are talking about like the team, like Benha don't want no more Argentinas to go in. Jody just like Benha is really heartfelt.
It's
Like, I don't want those my people, those are my friends. I love everybody. And Jody was like,
Just make sure you're ready.
yeah,
yeah.
she's like, I'm trying to
I
get but she don't care nothing
appreciate the canter. I first, not to make light of Naya's situation, I don't want to gloss over that. I do appreciate the fact that they were able to cover that and do it in a very respectful manner, and I do appreciate that. Them vaping commercials are hella real. And Jody's conversation with Darrell was also absolutely hilarious. Like when Darrell literally asked her like where her partner was, like, bro, you can't even communicate with this man. And it's like, again, I do feel bad because of the way that the game is set up and is being played and how so many few allies Jody has. Because it's like, Jody's somebody I would want on my side no matter what. But just the way the cards fell for her, it's just like she just ain't fuck at this point.
To that point, I don't think it's necessarily the way the cards fell. Yeah, she was dealt a bad hand, but I also feel like she takes the game too personal. She's like, I'm all about this game. Like she's like narrow-minded in that aspect, but also she's not trying to, like, she don't like her partner. She's not trying to talk to anybody else. She's not trying to form alliances. So it's like, I mean,
but I mean,
the hand you was dealt. But if you don't know,
but I mean, realistically though, she don't really have a lot of relationships with these people. So coming in trying to create alliances and stuff, it would, to me, it would come off almost like disingenuous and desperate.
I don't think so.
She needs to make alliances. That's the only way. That's the only way
You gotta start. You gotta start making friends outside the show. And she don't.
Yeah, that too. But
she don't even live in the U.S. She live in goddamn Germany.
Oh, does she?
Still,
yes,
she's a legend. These new players
in the country.
These new players, they don't care who you are. If you got that legend title, they want to learn from you. Half of these people are her fans. USA and Team Australia are having a little meeting where they are basically strategizing to still form this coup, which I don't understand.
So
definitely
dumb.
from Team USA. To get rid of, like, I understand like West and Jordan because they're technically not USA. But what in your mind would think that your partners would agree to that? Like,
yes, I don't understand it.
That's what
when Danny, as soon as he said Jordan, I was like, "Are you?" I don't understand.
You know who your partner is.
I don't think they watched the show, bro. I truly don't believe that they watched the show.
But even if you don't watch the show, I'm pretty sure Danny knows that Tori would never, ever say.
But I think they took. That's what I'm saying. Like the way that they constructed the show, they made it to where it was like, oh, all Team USA has to stick together no matter what. And it's like, that's not how this is going to go. That's not how this is going to go. They're going to protect their friends regardless of what country they represent. It does not matter. That's not just because we wearing the same color jersey, we not on the same side.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
the MVPs wanted to be like that, but that's not how it's set up.
Yeah, like I told y'all 2 weeks ago, Sarah is going to get Danny out this game if he keeps following her. Theo.
She better stop playing with my boy because I don't want to stop playing. Stop playing, Sarah.
Like Tori, I feel like would rally up the troops and be like, "Hey, she's messing up our game. Let's get rid of her." We will throw that shot at her. Like,
I agree. I also think this though. I'll say this. I actually do respect the fact that they're actually willing to try to do some shit.
I would respect that if it was an individual game.
If it was, or
I would love that.
If they just get rid of the fucking context of Team USA, just get rid of the countries, get rid of the titles of it, and keep it the exact same way. This is your partner, you and your partner competing for this money. Fuck what country you represent.
But I think in that same token, I think that's the way Sarah and Danny is playing the game. They don't really care about the legends or MVPs or whatever. Them two plus Justine, maybe Emily, and maybe Grant, they all working together as in, like, we don't care who they're aligned with. We want to get rid of all these people. But in the same instance, they need to also keep in the same Brett, the way the game is structured, you can't do that, which is going to put y'all in jeopardy. So that's
yeah, you can't, and you have
the
to
game
think.
not
And I
structured
don't think
for
they're
them
thinking
to
about
play
who.
individually, but they think they can play individually
Yeah,
when they
that's
can't. So it's like you can't play an individual game. This game is not structured to be individual.
And they don't think about the simple fact of you fuckers picked your own partners. You are you picked your partners. You are the reason why these alliances are as screwed up as they could possibly. This is y'all fault. So you try to clean your own
or went through. They should have been like, okay, everybody on Team USA picked these people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Team USA people, they partnered up with 4 of the most influential, strongest players in the game who are not ever going to go after each other. So why would you think? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it made no sense. And
between just between Johnny and Tori alone, you're not convincing either one of them to go along with whatever dumbass plan you got going. They could have done this so much better. It was it's a hella good idea. It was a very great idea in concept.
Execution, no.
Yeah, they meant
execution. Oh my god.
Let me explain the rules real quick. So, like we said, the game is called Gates of Hell. Each round, teams will race to the end of a 50-yard corridor. As they're racing, the gate is closing, and once the gate closed, the green light will come on. And then once the green light comes on, the gate will lift open as one gate is opening, the other one is closing. So the teams have to race back to the other end, and whichever team doesn't make it under, and both partners aren't inside the corridor, then they are eliminated. They will keep doing this back and forth until one team remains, and the team that is the slowest or loses first will automatically go to the arena. And like I said, this game was
made no sense.
Execution was stupid. I was like, are they literally
you do know they changed the rules at the end just to get a
well, because he was the only person under, but he was the only person at the end, so they couldn't just somebody made it made it under. So I thought that too, though. I did think that too.
Yeah, like I just think that, like, in theory, they could have, in terms of the gate, first and foremost, why we had it in this open, why wasn't in? Yeah, it should have been in like an open field type thing, or just idea spitballing here. Have one gate go all the way up and have everybody run, and then don't have the gates go up and down simultaneously at the same time, because it's just not.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if you just let one gate, one gate raises, and then as it's going, once that gate fully goes up, then the other one closes, and it just is on a different timer, so it does close faster, but just faster and faster every round.
In some of the edits, one on the other opposite end, the gate was like all the way up. Like even when they was like crawling out from under, that gate was up. So I think there was an issue with the timing. So I think they eventually had to figure something out, because then that's when they started making the corridor smaller to fit less people in there. And then it just didn't make sense, honestly. Like, first off, it was too many people. Like, even if you want to do that, it was just too many people.
They should have ran it in heats. It should have been ran in guy-girl heats. And then the way that they did the last heat with Danny and Tori, and then Wes and whoever the hell he has. Then it would have just
Sarah and Johnny and
it would have been fine doing girls and do guys, and then whatever girl guy winner, their partner comes back in, then you have 2-on-2.
Yeah,
same
it
way.
Should be how like they do the where they have like the 4 corners and they just all like meet in the middle and gotta like rush into each other and then go to like the opposite direction.
That would have been even better.
That would have made it like a little bit better. That
would have been even better, because then it's just like, well, do you play strategically, or do you just try to take somebody else out because you can pick and choose who you want to win?
They kind of started to do that. Like at one point, you see, I think Danny was holding Wes at one point.
And then Zara,
he was trying to, for sure.
Zara had Tori in the head, like she was like, "You're not going nowhere."
So they tried.
Zara was blocking. Zara was legit blocking like an offensive lineman from Alabama. Like it was Tori wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah, but essentially after the second round, literally half the teams are out.
It was more than half. It was only 3 teams left after
It was literally only 3 teams left, and I was just like, "This is embarrassing."
Basically, it's 5 rounds. At the end of 5 rounds, there's only 4 players, which is Wes and Zara versus Danny and Tori. In the final round, Wes is able to make his lower half through the not corridor, the gate, signifying
got
their
cut
win.
in half.
Signifying their win. Danny was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not finna injure myself to do that.
Right.
No.
Yeah. But what I will say, well, Zara and Wes are the winners. But what I will say what was impressive is when Wes failed, he did that tuck and roll and got back up. I was like, okay.
Tuck and roll with the slide. With the slide at the end. He did the slide at the end. I was very impressed.
So in the end, Nia was the one who was the last person. So that makes her and Rodri the losing team and going straight
to elimination. I'm sad to see that.
Yeah.
I wanted Nia to make it further, and I just wanted Argentina to have a chance. And it's just like,
you know the rule. Once you get the
once,
story out,
once the episode is about
so many different people. I will say the producers. I mean, I know that like obviously that was one, but I will say they were trying a little bit not to be as obvious because they had Danny specifically talking about Wes, and I was like, oh, is Wes going? And then they had Nia's storyline. Then they had a spotlight on Joe. And so I was like, okay, producers.
Yeah, but once
I knew it was gonna be Nia when I knew it was gonna be Nia when they showed the pictures. Yeah. When they showed the pictures,
like I said,
I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely Nia's.
Yeah, when she got her vape storyline in, I was like,
yeah,
okay.
The one that tugs at your heart the most.
So we get back to the house, and every team is essentially in a huddle, which I don't understand why. Because again, like, I swear at the beginning of this, everybody had an individual vote, but I guess it's always been a team vote. But I need it to be individual because I hate when teams
individual because
I want these teammates to go against. I want the conflict between Danny and Tori to go to hell. I want to see if USA can stage a coup.
But I don't understand. What if you don't? I want to be in the deciding vote when they talking like Danny and Tori, different people. So who make the decision? Like, you know what I mean?
Tori, apparently.
Tori at the end of the day is making that decision.
So how
Danny is biting his tongue, but Tori's definitely the one making the decision.
I appreciate Danny, and I would like to see him on the regular season as
Danny. I think this episode really showed that Danny is not. Yeah, that's why I say Sarah's going to mess up his game. Like Danny himself, he plays a good game. He knows what's going on. But I think Sarah is going to be his downfall if he keep like being a. He needs to play like Justine. Know when to pick and choose your battles.
Just be in the meeting and shake your head.
Exactly.
Like, just be like. And then when you with Johnny, you be like, you know, you gotta be able to play both sides because neither one of them know that I'm not with or against either one.
Exactly. But so basically, all the Team USA essentially says, let's vote the same. Let's not check the votes. Kellyanne, Tristan, Jody, Benha, da. So we get to Team Australia and they kangaroo meeting. And they're like, we want to put in Jordan and kind of see what West and kind of, again, I don't understand why they're trying to force people's hands when they know that Jordan, like, it just don't make sense for them to even like try to.
But that made no sense for you to say we need to keep it the same and do this to try to let West break it. It was no choice. You gave him an option of somebody that's on his team, somebody that's not on his team. What is there to see? I didn't even understand why they was even saying it. That was nonsense.
Yeah, like if they would have said Kellyanne and Tristan and then Jordan and Cass, then you could have forced their hand. But like y'all only wanted Jordan. Like
when the option one is somebody who is his friend and ex-girlfriend, and on his team is somebody who's not on his team, not really his friend as far as we know. And what?
Then we get into the actual deliberation. Pretty much everybody votes for Jody and Benha, and then Kellyanne and Tristan.
There was some outliers, and I don't.
Yeah, there was some outliers.
Why? So the people that were outliers, that like voted random. Once they saw that, I feel like you could have switched it up. Literally, Jody and Benha or Kellyanne and Tristan could have been like, they threw. It was two separate teams that did a throwaway vote on what Casey, I think.
It was so Kellyanne and
Theo
Tristan
and
had 8
Sarah got a
votes.
vote, I think.
Kellyanne and Tristan, Benha and Jody had 8. Kellyanne and Tristan had 8. Sarah and Theo had like 2, I think, and then Jordan and Kaz had 1.
Okay, so maybe whoever that other vote was, maybe Theo and Sarah, it was like 2 teams that did like throwaway votes on them, and they was like, that's a firm vote. And then soon they saw that Jody and Benha should have been like, oh, them. And then Kellyanne, I understand we against John A now, but we could change some stuff up here. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but I'm not wasting my vote on a 1-person vote. You know what I mean? Only me voting for this person. I don't care about that.
But, so in the end, it's Tristan and Kellyanne once again with Jody and Benha once again, and Wes instantly like, okay, we already know where this is going.
I was like, I would be shocked if he does not pick Jody and Benha. I would have been like, oh my, what?
Yeah. So we get Bananas, Justine, and Tori talking about how Sarah and Danny are essentially not playing with them. And then on the opposite end, we get Sarah, Justine, and Danny saying, our partners are not trying to play the game that we're trying to play. It's clear. So we need to, then Sarah had the nerve to say, okay, so we swayed it this time. Next time we get to choose one.
I'm dead, bro.
When she said that, I was like, this ain't a give and take. They don't care.
This ain't right. Like, I'm trying to figure out who the fuck do they think they are?
Yeah.
Thinking they finna just make decisions. Like, first and foremost, y'all have done one challenge. One.
Yeah.
Just because you won, like Amber B didn't even have that mindset, and she won one challenge. She knows exactly what the rules are. She knows what her spot is, where she fit in.
Yeah.
You ain't
like
everybody.
Sarah,
they got main character syndrome.
With the 2-time finalist, Dan, you're partnering with the champ. And Justine, we know you just playing the offense, but like for Danny, you're with the champ. Like, why would you even try or think that she would like not know how to play this game or think that you were about to talk to her? Yeah, but I don't know what game Sarah.
I also want to know what was he thinking picking Tori to turn around and be like, "Oh, we're gonna send in Jordan."
Yeah,
that didn't make sense.
Yeah, so we get to the elimination. We see that TJ is not there. We see that he is getting inducted into the BMX Hall of Fame. So congratulations, TJ. On that, he shouts out the challenge fam. We love to see it. And then we get the elimination, which is called Oiled Up. Wes and Zara eventually choose Benha and Jody because who didn't see that coming? And if you didn't, you don't know this game at all.
Yeah.
And this challenge was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
And
but
I cringed so much on this challenge. I was just like,
wait, and then I don't necessarily consider Naya weak or anything, Naya or Rodri. But we've seen the Australian people go out week after week. And so let's say by some stroke of something of luck or whatever, they were able to convince them to put in Jordan. Did you think that Jordan was going home?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? This is not like Rodri, who has never, this is his first play, has never played this game before. I'm not putting Jordan in to take him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put him in against Johnny. Then we're going to, if I'm about to do that, all the Argentina people should have to come back. I think they've seen how it's played, and I think they should be able to come back. Because I just want to see it again. Because I think this wasn't a good chance for them.
No, I think they just chose the wrong people. I think that's the same thing that would happen with like Emmy and all of them. They chose a good crop. E-Man, Emmy, Logan, they were like a good crop of like global people or whatever. For Argentina, I think because they rushed it, they chose the wrong person outside of Benha. I feel like Benha, because he like getting this edit or whatever the case may be, we know he's going to be in the game for a little minute now. So I think they just chose the wrong Argentinians. They should have just waited until.
Just to recap, the premise of the whole elimination is pretty straightforward. They had to take buckets up the ramp and fill up the tub with oil. And once they get to the line, their ball gets to the line, then that's the winner. It's really straightforward. But like they said, like the oil makes it trickier. And then Rodri had a bad knee already. I was
Producers
like,
ain't shit.
And then
I mean, but for the most part,
they knew he had a bad leg, and they still picked the one. They constructed the one elimination where you would definitely need good legs. Producers ain't shit. They not shit. And it's like, oh, well, you go. Oh, well, they probably weren't even gonna pick Jody Rodrigo. Come on.
I mean, it was just like Nelson.
You knew they were gonna do.
Huey. I feel like no matter who they went up against, Naya and Rodri was gonna lose. Like their performance was just, it was just bad. And then I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it was lackluster. It was nothing really. It was no accoutrement. It was no grand dress. It was just. They didn't really need the rope. Like the oil wasn't really spilling that much anyway. Like Jody and Beha platform was pretty clean for the most part. The only reason oil was spilling on Naya and them sides because their technique was just messed up and
their technique was terrible. This was dumb.
Yeah. So it was just
But overall, Rodri and Naya weren't able to do it before Benha and Jody. So Benha and Jody win, and Naya and Rodri are heading home. And I do appreciate Naya. She was very I think she was a good partner for Rodri. For him to have her as a first partner, I think was really good because as opposed to Jody would not have taken that as like gracious.
Naya was a good sport. Naya was a good sport about it. Even though she was frustrated and angry about it, she was still a good sport about it.
She was like, he did the best he can. He's really been helpful here. And even at the end, once Jody and Benha won, Benha trying to say like I'm gonna miss all my I'm gonna miss my Argentinians. I'm so sad that my brother Roger had to go home, and then Jody hit like she's like
she don't give a fuck, bro.
She does not care. But let's get into this fantasy draft.
Let's get into the fantasy draft. Dun dun dun. So in this episode, in first place, we have me.
You be cheating.
How do I be cheating?
I just know you be cheating.
I don't. With 621 points. My main points came from. I got a lot of comp points this episode with Wes and Zara being.
You got a lot of people on the same team on your.
Yeah, that's why I be worried about the elimination.
Yeah, so when his team start to go,
when they do get eliminated, it's gonna be.
He done for it, bro.
That's why I be like Kellyanne and Tristan. If they go home, both of them go. Wes and Zara, both of them go. I'm gonna be losing people at once. Got a lot of comp points from Wes and Zara, and then Benha gave me a few. A lot of my team was like the confessional. Well, I wouldn't even say a lot. Only 3 of them was like confessional people. Tristan is giving very much narrator of the season. So is Wes and Zara. In second place, we have Gigi with 430.
Oh my gosh. That's why I forgot they were on my team. I wasn't expecting these 2 X's. I'm like, I'm fine.
You have your big player was Jody with the comp points, but because you had Naya and Rodri, they gave you a lot of negatives. Grant is another narrator of the season. Naya had a lot of confessionals, and then Jody had a few. But overall, your team is pretty well-rounded for the most part. You got 294 points. You got a good team. They're not doing anything competition-wise, but Danny is the narrator of the season as well. He gave you a lot of confessional points, and so did Kiki, and Troy gave you a few as well. But you got a nice little team going on. is the fantasy draft. So next week is going to be a little bit closer because we all, besides like my team, if 2 people leave from my team, then I'm at a, but yeah.
But that is our recap and review of episode 5 of the Challenge World Championship. 4? If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below, share the video, and we will see you on our next video.